Well, viewers, here you see this is 90 Minutes, India's first ever football magazine, and I have sitting here just beside me two very young kids. This is Atishay Agarwal.
Hi.
And this is Venkatesh Sharma. They are the editors and publishers of this magazine, 90 Minutes. Well, the first question that I would like to pose to you two is why a football magazine all of a sudden in India? You know, what motivated you to take this step? And especially, football is still located only in some parts of India.
I think in terms of local football, we have Calcutta, Goa, and Kerala or the Northeast as the areas which local football is most popular in. But I think when it comes to international football, you see the craze is spread pretty much all over India. When we had the World Cup or the Euros happening,
Right.
We saw at the last World Cup, so 110 million people in India watch it. So I mean, even places in Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, whenever you see people flocking to sports bars and lounges to watch the matches together. You have fan clubs in many of those cities. So I think international football is popular all over India. And we would like to cater to both of those audiences within the country who will prefer international football as well as those people who like local football as well. So I think there's a lot of scope for a football magazine in India, especially being a football fan. For over 10 years, I've so missed having a football magazine to read. So like at the launch of the magazine, we also said that it's a very selfish project because we wanted to give ourselves what we wanted. So that's why football
Okay,
magazine.
Venkatesh, we come to you. Tell us how how you two got motivated to come up with this project of football magazine.
You know, as Atisha said, the main force behind the venture was the fact that we wanted a magazine that wasn't available. We couldn't get our hands on something which would provide us with the European masala, so to speak.
So thought if we don't have it, why not
Why
create
not
one?
make it exactly and give it to everyone else who wants it.
Okay, so you two know each other. I mean, you two are college mates.
Yeah, we were actually roommates in college, so that's how we met. We met in the first year of college as roommates. So and we've been friends ever since. But only towards the final year of college we actually started discussing this project, and now it's it's happening.
Okay, so how did when you came up this idea of launching a football magazine all of a sudden, which is actually very unique in India. You know, people we don't have any football magazines. We do have many magazines which cater to the cricket fans. So, like, did you immediately find support in your surroundings? You know, your closed ones, or did you immediately find support in probably the editorial house?
I think it was very difficult to convince people at first. I mean, barring the people who are actually football fans, I mean, any football fan we spoke to was always very optimistic about it, and they really encouraged us to come out with this magazine, saying that, we really want this magazine, so please come out with it. But as when it comes to sponsors or other people who are already working in the industry, in the print industry and etc. So initially they had their doubts whether this would work. But I think over the past 1 year, when we've seriously been working on this project, we've managed to convince many of those doubters. And,
so you have been working on this particular magazine 90 Minutes for the past 1 year to launch the first edition.
Yeah, pretty much the last 1 year we've been working on it. I think we've convinced many people about it, and now that it's been launched, a lot of people who doubted it earlier calling us up to congratulate us. So this is a good sign.
Oh, that's really a great success. Venkatesh, you tell me, why would a guy who is not especially attracted to football go up and buy 90 Minutes from his closest stall?
Well, to be honest, I mean, there's nothing. We are not catering to people who don't follow football.
Okay.
It's catering to people who are dying for
Football. Okay.
And there are enough people around who want something like that to be available, and we're one of them. We are the people. We have a hanging around people who are dying for something like that.
Right.
I think we underestimate the number of football fans there are in this country.
Okay.
Just because we don't see enough people at a East Bengal match or once in a while or at an India game, but I think we underestimate the number of fans of international football there are in this country. There are enough, I'm sure.
Okay, so is there any special feature in this magazine which is unique?
We're not really going to concentrate much on news because since it's a monthly magazine, and nowadays people check on international news pretty much every day, whether it's online or on TV.
Right.
So we will not concentrate on news. We'll have lots of feature articles, a lot of exclusive interviews. I think in the first issue we already have an interview with Giovanni van Bronckhorst, who was Dutch captain at the last World Cup. So he's quite a legend in international football, and we have an exclusive interview with him in the first issue. So we'll concentrate on these sort of issues, on this sort of exclusives and opinion-based articles and some slightly more educative articles, so that the younger fans of football understand the finer points of the game. So we will concentrate mainly on these sort of features in the magazine.
Okay, so there's for your viewers the special edition, this first edition. The special thing that they have here is an interview with the Dutch legend Giovanni van Bronckhorst. If you want to get a look at that, you can go into your closest stores and have a look at the magazine. Well, what are the future plans with this particular magazine?
I think right now we've started off with 6 cities in terms of distribution. We haven't gone to Goa and Kerala as yet. Right. That is the next step to get this magazine available in Goa and Kerala. We'll probably do that from the second issue. And apart from that, we also eventually we would look to have an exclusive issue online as well, which should be available freely. And in terms of a long-term plan, one of the underlying aims of the magazine is to popularize and glamorize Indian football a little more, because like we said, international football is a huge craze, but not many of us follow Indian football very closely. So we need to glamorize the local sport a bit more, for it to become successful as well. That's one of the long-term aims of the magazine.
Okay, so any plans, Venkatesh, to expand this magazine's reach to outside of India, probably in the South Asian region?
Certainly in the long term. But that's the venture we are not looking at the moment. That's a very long-term plan. We'll go for it once we are sure that we have covered the Indian populace enough.
Right. We will come back to Atishay once again. There was an interesting thing that I noticed about both of you is that you both are engineering students.
Yeah.
And these two young guys refused to take up engineering jobs, and you went ahead with the prospect of a football magazine, which is something which everybody would not be confident of.
Yeah.
So you were taking a big risk in your first. How did you actually come to think of football a magazine? Was it just because of I don't have one to read myself, so I want?
No, we were huge. We're both big football fans, so it was something we were already very much interested in. And as far as engineering is concerned, we realized at the end of the day that we would probably be much better off and much happier doing something like this than an engineering job. It was tough to let go of something we studied for 4 years, of course, but I think both of us felt that we could add a lot more value to a product like this rather than at an engineering job. So I think this was what we would be happiest doing. So we're doing this.
Okay, and do you have any feature in this magazine, this 90 minutes? I would once again like to show it to the viewers. 90 minutes, which is the first ever football magazine in India, and the statement that these two young kids made was, since they did not have one to read themselves, they thought of creating one magazine. Well, Atishay, the question that I would like to ask you is, is there any feature in the magazine where the viewers can share their feedback, when the viewers can go ahead and tell what they like about the magazine, what they don't like?
Of course, I think we are very open to being a fans magazine completely. We'll take any feedback I think any contact information is freely available in the magazine, where people can contact us, tell us what they liked, what they didn't like. Apart from that, we have a reader article in every issue. We're inviting articles from fans, from the audience all over the country, and in fact, we already have one article published in this issue from a football fan who just sent his article to us. And we've already, even if you go to our website, you'll find a page where we take in submissions from readers, and we're already getting articles for our next issue. So we're definitely very much open to the fans who want to send in their work, who want to contribute. We'll be open to all sorts of things.
Well, thank you so much, Venkatesh and Atishay, for coming here and sharing your views and the story of this India's first ever football magazine, 90 minutes with us. We hope that this magazine turns out to be a good success, and it's already turning out to be a great success. Best of luck for the future of this magazine, both Venkatesh and Atishay.
Thanks.
Well, viewers, that was what we had for you in today's sports segment about 90 minutes, India's first ever football magazine.